dawn over the East China Sea point. Two dots tear across the sky, one sleek and angular, the other faster than radar can. Follow inside the Japanese FX cockpit, alarm scream. The J-20 Ghost Dragon is already locked on, and in that instant the hunter realizes he's become the prey. The first light of morning crept across Kadena Air Base, painting the FX's carbon skin with a cold silver hue. Technicians moved in silence, every motion precise, rehearsed. This wasn't a drill. Captain Ray Tanaka stood beside her aircraft helmet under her arm, eyes fixed on the far horizon. For months, satellite imagery had shown J-20 sorties edging closer to Japan's air defense identification zone. But today, intelligence said one of them was coming, straight for her patrol line. Call sign Kitsune, your FX is cleared for launch. AWACS Falcon Eye confirms bandit heading, 220 degrees, Mach 1.7 at 30,000 feet. Ray's gloved hand pressed the canopy frame as the engine roared awake. Twin XF-9S spooled with a metallic shriek. The new power plant Japan had built to outclimb anything on the Pacific front. She whispered a single word to herself. Ikuzo, let's go. The jets surged forward, afterburner split the dawn like twin suns, scattering mist across the runway. Within seconds, the FX pierced, the clouds rising into a pale blue void, where silence met speed. But T-35,000 feet, she switched to encrypted link. Falcon Eye Kitsune 11 on station. Any update on contact? Still no IFFF response. Visual range in 3 minutes. Expect stealth interference. Ray's HUD flickered, faint, digital noise. Then a ghost signal. Appeared for half a second, then vanished. Not on radar, just a shadow. That's impossible, she murmured. The J-20 shouldn't be this close already, AWACS replied calmly. Negative, Kitsune, we still show clean. You're sure it's not a false return? She didn't answer. Instinct and years of training said otherwise. The FX was designed to hunt stealth jets, but right now it felt like one was hunting her. She pushed the throttle forward. The sky shivered and the team Mach 1.9 Ronica entered the shadow zone, a patch of electronic silence where radar link and even her heartbeat felt muted. And then she saw a dark triangle emerging through the sunlight, silent as a blade. The J-20 Ghost Dragon nose down, canards flared, skin absorbing the rising light. For a moment, both jets held steady. Predator versus predator. Then the dragon vanished again. Not in cloud, but into the sky itself. Falcon Eye, I've lost visual. He's gone cold. Negative lock from our end. To maintain heading Kitsune, but the air was no longer empty, that it was alive with something she couldn't see, and whatever. It was right behind her. Inside the FX cockpit, every sensor screamed for data and delivered nothing. An open return in O-heat signature. Just a static hum of an empty sky. Ray Tanaka's gloved fingers danced across the CONSOLE, switching to passive IR mode. The FX's advanced suite was supposed to detect even a stealth jet's exhaust bloom, but this wasn't normal stealth. The J-20 had gone beyond invisible. Falcon Eye, I've got zero visuals, zero radar return. He's in my 6, I feel him there. Copy. Kitsune Vector 310 climbed, 240,000, try to regain high ground, advantage. She pulled back hard. The FX's engines howled, contrails slicing upward through the thin blue haze. Sunlight flared off her canopy, blinding for an instant, and that's when she saw it shimmered, barely perceptible distortion, like heat bending. AI or it was the J-20 running full optical cloaking field, using the atmosphere's light layers to disappear. There you are, she whispered. She pitched the jet over, diving into its spiraling barrel roll to bleed speed and forced the J-20 into a visual chase. The sudden move broke the pattern. For a split second, the dragon's outline glinted black scales of stealth. Composite catching dawnlight lock tone. Ray squeezed the trigger. Too short range and 5 BS stir outward. They screamed across the sky, twisting vapor, trails behind them only to vanish. Mid-flight, as countermeasures flared, the J-20 didn't dodge that, it absorbed the attack, deploying directed EMP bursts that fried both missile seekers. Mid-air, they died in silence, drifting into white smoke. Falcon Eye, he's using active electronic suppression. Stronger than expected. Copy. Kitsune maintain visual reinforcements en route. ETA 4 minutes. 4 minutes. That might as well have been a lifetime. The J-20 reappeared above her, nose down, twin PL-15S armed and tracking her threat. Display went red. Ray yanked the stick. Left. The missiles roared past, detonating so close the blast wave rattled her spine. Her canopy cracked slightly from the shock. Breathing hard, she leveled the jet. The FX's predictive AI chimed in calmly. Target probability. Lock. Re-established enemy maneuver. AI. Serpentine pattern. Yeah, Ray muttered. I can see that. She cut thrust. The FX dropped like a stone, rolling inverted beneath the J-20's tail. For a heartbeat, she was directly beneath the dragon's shadow. She hit the switch. Stealth mode. Active. The FX's reflective panels shifted spectrum. Its radar cross-section collapsing to nothing. Now she was the ghost. The hunter had vanished from the dragon's scope, and for the first time in this encounter, the J-20's pilot felt something unexpected. Doubt. 39,000 feet above the Pacific, silence returned. Only the whisper of vapor and a pulse of two muskeons, both invisible, both waiting to raise eyes, darted across the HUD. The FXS stealth field was holding, but barely. Capacitors drained fast. One wrong move and her heat signature would spike. Falcon Eye stealth mode engaged. Ghost radar clean any new contact. Negative kit, soon you vanish from all systems, even we can't see you. A slow breath. Perfect. Now the game was even. She adjusted the trim, easing the nose upward. Somewhere ahead the J-20 lingered, confident, maybe even taunting her by turning passive, but she knew the dragon's pilot wasn't reckless. He was listening for her, searching the void. With every sensor China's labs could build, Ray flicked on optical magnification. The horizon shimmered gold. Then for a heartbeat, a shadow flickered against the sun. The faint outline of twin caned tails. Got you, she whispered. She rolled left, aligning a vector, feeding microthrust corrections to keep noise minimal. Every second was a test of patience. Not who could shoot first, but who could stay unseen longer. Inside the J-20, Colonel Wyhan's voice broke the stillness. Target lost. Optical spectrum unstable. Recommend vertical search pattern. He wasn't panicking yet. We had flown against Raptors before, but this was something new. Dude, Japan's FX wasn't supposed to disappear this cleanly. He throttled forward, climbing into thinner air. That was the mistake. Below him, Ray watched his contrails bloom white against the stratosphere. The dragon had just left a footprint in the sky. She armed her Meteor missiles, long range, radar guided, their seekers programmed for brief pulse lock bursts. She had two chances before her stealth collapsed. Fox 3, a flash, then another. The twin meteors roared up, road contrails twisting. Like twin blades, we caught them too late. Countermeasures fired. Decoys, flares, bursts of chaff, but the missiles adjusted smart and silent. He dove hard, too hard, dragging vapor across the jet stealth skin, leaving a visible trail. Ray smiled. That's right, show yourself. But the J-20 was built for this. Its engine screamed back to life, vectoring impossible angles. One meteor detonated behind him, shockwaves, scattering flame but missing by meters. The other lost lock when his ECM field pulsed. Then, in perfect silence, he inverted midair and vanished into the cloud layer. Ray steadied her breathing. Her HUD blinked once at a soft tone, faint but unmistakable. Lock warning. Falcon Eye. I think he's got me on passive lock. Kit, soon break hard. South repeat, south repeat, south repeat. The appeal 15 shot out of the clouds behind her. White smoke curving like a spear. She rolled, dove, countered with flares. 1, 2, 3, and the missile sliced through every trap, closing distance. Come on. At the last instant, Ray yanked full left, firing her drag shoot decoy, a new experimental defense. The Place 15 detonated behind her tail, tearing a chunk of composite plating free. But, sparing the core, the FX tumbled, violently, warning, alarms, shrieking. She barely stabilized at heart, pounding. Falcon Eye. I'm hit. Minor damage, but controls stable. He's still out there. Copy Kitsu. Reinforcements, 2 minutes out. Can you stay alive till then? Ray smirked through the sweat. Tell them to hurry. The ghost's getting impatient. The sky had turned a deep silver blue, the kind that hides fire beneath its calm. That Ray's FX limped through the upper stratosphere. Panels scorched, alarms whispering in protest, but she wasn't retreating. She was thinking the J-20 had outgunned her, outclunged her, yet it hadn't finished the kill. That meant one thing. Its pilot wanted a clean visual, confirmation that he wanted proof of superiority. Falcon Eye damage control. Stable. I'm baiting him higher. Copy. Kitsune. Reinforcements crossing 200 nautical miles. Maintain discretion. Ray's voice hardened. No, this end. Before they get here. She throttled back, letting her exhaust cool. The FX drifted almost lifeless like debris, a wounded bird falling upward. But on the radar net below, AWACS operators lost her entirely. And far behind, the Dragon moved in. Colonel Wyhan's targeting system confirmed. Japanese FX low power, mode likely crippled. He adjusted his course, closing at supersonic speed. Inside his helmet, a quiet satisfaction. The hunt was nearly over, but below the clouds, Ree had already set the trap. The FX's left wing housed a prototype system, an adaptive decoy pod linked to her onboard AI. It projected her damaged heat signature 800 meters away. A ghost echo. While Wee locked onto the decoy, Ray slid behind him, silent, inverted, hidden against the glare of the sun. Kitsune 111 visual on target. Permission to engage. Falcon Eye copies your weapons. Free acknowledged. Fox 3. The meteor missile streaked out like a ray of light, climbing faster than sound, slicing into the thin air above the cloud deck. It caught the Dragon off guard. The warning tone hit Wei's ears. Half a second too late. He rolled hard. Right. Countermeasures firing in a burst of silver sparks, but the meteor adjusted, chasing his heat trail with surgical precision for one blinding instant. The Pacific sky turned white. The explosion bloomed just behind the J-20's tail, ripping off stabilizers and throwing the jet into a spiraling fall. Smoke trailed across the horizon, black ribbon twisting against gold. Sunlight ray banked hard, watching the dragon tumble. Target hit, confirming splash, but her HUD blinked red. Multiple contacts inbound. Point 2. More J-20s racing north from mainland. Airspace Falcon Eye. I've got company. Multiple hostiles. Range 90 miles and closing. Kitsune. Disengage. Immediately. Do not re-engage. Repeat. The comm cut out. Jamming. Ray's display fuzzed into static. Point 3 dots now. 2 confirmed hostiles. 1 unknown. The smoke from the falling dragon blurred her sensors, and somewhere inside that haze, a radar signature reappeared. Impossible. I hit you. The damaged J-20 was alive, trailing flame, missing part of its tail, but flying. Its pilot forcing control, dragging the crippled jet straight at her. He wasn't trying to win, he was trying to ram. Ray yanked the stick, diving through the clouds. The world exploded in a mist and lightning. Metal screamed, clouds tore apart, and the ocean below flashed in. The light, she didn't know if she'd escaped, only that for the first time since takeoff, the FX felt mortal. The clouds split open like torn fabric as Ray's FX burst downward, vapor trails twisting in its wake. She leveled at 22,000 feet, engines rattling, warning tones flashing red across the HUD. The ocean shimmered below, glassy and endless. Falcon Eye. This is Kitsune 11. The situation critical. Multiple hostiles. Radar interference heavy. Static answered in O response. She was alone. Far above, the sky still burned. Debris and contrails spiraling downward from the stricken J-Twink. But something about the pattern felt wrong. The wreck wasn't falling. IT was guiding her. Sensors pinged. Faint. Then cleared a triangulated signal. The crippled J-20 was feeding targeting data to the 2 newcomers closing fast. He's painting me for their lock. Ray's eyes narrowed. She cut throttle, letting her jet sink, low, skimming the ocean's surface. With radar returned, blurred with sea clutter. Spray streaked across her canopy. The FXS stealth coating glowed faintly blue. Under stress, above the 2 J-20s. Descended in perfect synchronization, predators circling their kill. The lead pilot, Weion, bloodied but conscious, forced his crippled jet to level. His control system screamed in protest. He didn't care if he wanted one thing: to prove the Ghost Dragon could still command the sky. Target lock confirmed. We muttered through the blood on his lip. For the motherland. Fox 32PL-15. Streak from his dying jet. Their trails, carving white scars across the atmosphere. Ray saw them instantly. Her mind slowed to a heartbeat rhythm. 1 second stretching into 10. Think she flipped open a control cover mark. Prototype only. The FXS secondary AI hesitated. System risk exceeds override. The wing split open, micronized. Thrusters fired sideways, creating a shockwave bubble around her fuselage. She pulled a maneuver that no human should survive. AC Ross vector lateral spin at Mach 1.8, but the first missile streaked past her left wing, missing by inches. The second curved wide, then looped back, guided by the crippled J-20's uplink. Ray slammed both throttles, forward diving for the ocean. But T-800 feet, she fired counterpulse flares, magnesium blue, ultra bright. The missile tried to correct and hit the water instead. The explosion threw her jet upward, water spraying like a wall. Systems flickered, engines coughed, but she was alive. Falcon Eye, I confirm. Missile evasion target led, crippled to hostiles, airborne request vector. Finally, a voice returned through static hit. Soon reinforcement formation. Inbound at 15 JS 10 clicks north, hold position if you can. She exhaled hard, the adrenaline flooding back above her. The crippled J-20 finally began its fatal descent, its pilot's voice fading in encrypted Mandarin across the emergency band. The dragon never kneels. Rewatched as the wreck tumbled, breaking apart over the Pacific. Pieces burned bright against the clouds, falling like fading embers. For a long moment, nothing moved. Then the remaining 2 J-20s broke formation and turned back toward the mainland. The sky was silent again. Ray Tanaka steadied her breath, eyes locked on the horizon. Her FX was battered, scarred, but flying. And as the sun broke over the sea, she whispered softly, "Next time, Dragon, I'll be waiting." The horizon had turned molten gold. Bits of debris drifted through thin air like falling stars, glowing briefly before vanishing into the sea. What had been chaos minutes ago was now stillness, an eerie calm that only comes after victory that almost wasn't. Ray Tanaka's hands trembled slightly on the controls. Her display flickered between warning lights and silence. The FX had survived barely. Hydraulics leaking, heat sensors fried, one engine coughing with every burst of thrust, but it flew. That was enough. Falcon Eye Kitsune 1. Mission complete. Hostiles disengaged. Copy Kitsune with a visual. You're clear to RTB. Welcome home. The words felt unreal. She leaned back, exhaling into the misted glass of her visor. The sky stretched endlessly before her, a painting of fire and silver somewhere below. The waves carried the ashes of 3 ghosts who had once ruled these skies. She looked at her reflection in the canopy sweat. Smoke streaks, eyes sharper than when she took off, so that's what it takes to outfly a dragon, she murmured. Her onboard AI flickered alive, voice soft and calm. Flight duration 2 hours 19 minutes. Mission survival probability 12%. Ray smiled faintly. Let's call that a good day. The FX banked gently toward Okinawa, sunlight spilling across its scarred wings. Behind her contrails, faded white ribbons dissolving into donk. Ahead, the glow of home base shimmered on the radar. And somewhere, across the sea, new engines were already warming. China would not let this end here. Neither would Japan. The sky, as always, was merely a pause between storms. That voiceover fade in a battle for the invisible sky. Speed means nothing if you can't see what's haunting you.